Katt Williams and Joe Rogan on Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's get into it.
What do you think the story of Sodom and Gomorrah is about? Because I was just reading that last
Cleanliness.
night. Cleanliness? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what took them out? That, like, plague?
Okay.
Because
This
the
is
thing
69 times I've gotten canceled in this one conversation.
the stories of Sodom and Gomorrah, there's two
Yeah.
speculations.
Right.
One of them was that God decided that they weren't hospitable enough. And the other one was God had decided that there was too much sin.
Wait a minute, that's not speculation. That's in the book.
Right.
That first one.
Right, but the
What's the second one?
respectability part, that they were not hospitable enough.
Yeah, that was a part of it.
That's part of it too. So God had just decided this. I'm gonna fuck up this whole city.
No.
Right. What's the real story though?
Okay, so
Turned it into pillars of salt. Two cities, right? And he said, "Find me 50 good men, and I won't do this." And then I think he said, "Find me 10 good men."
Okay, so this story is generally used to say that God doesn't like homosexuals. This is the story that highlights that.
Okay, so it's not
So-
just sin. It's not just because sodomy is even technically like oral sex.
The meaning of that word comes from
Sodom and Gomorrah. Right.
Right.
So that's
So-
why I said it includes a lot of things people think is deviant sex. Yo, I gotta piss so bad. Can we come back to this? Sodom and Gomorrah. Come back to this.
I
gotta
would
take a
love
leak.
that.
Okay, let's take a look. Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, so it tells several stories, but there had to be an explanation for what the story said happened to two cities of people, right?
Right. There had to be a reason to tell that story. Most likely.
To tell this story, it requires all of those people to really have been killed in those circumstances. And the historical evidence shows us that something like that happened. Like, those two cities really did exist.
Right.
Do we know where Sodom and Gomorrah was?
Are you
Like,
kidding? I know a guy who will pull that information up so fast and
Really?
put it on the screen.
Young Jamie? Like, is there
His
speculation as to what part?
sidekick is awake now. You're gonna see
Oh,
the
Carl.
best part of him when Carl wakes up.
Carl's awake now. He's a
Yeah.
3:30 waker.
Right.
Um,
As we all would be if we were in charge of our schedules.
yeah, probably. What do they think that it? Like, is there real speculation as to where it was?
Mm-hmm.
Where do they think it was?
It's not speculation. A lot of these places just changed names. Like,
Right.
they used to be called this, and
Right.
then they later were called something
Sure.
Else. But
Like Iraq used to be Sumer.
right,
Yeah.
like these are literal places
Yeah.
that you can find on the real map.
Yeah.
That was a part of that biblical rabbit hole I was telling you about. Is just seeing my only concern is, how do these ancient Islamic, Judea, how do you say that, those three that exist, that all religion is built on, Judeo-Christian, Islamic,
Mm-hmm.
that whole belief system of how that operates, right? So you see they have question marks here, right? Only because they know that there were cities there.
Oh, so they have wreckage there,
Like, for example, if everybody in Gaza talks about going there, it exists. If everybody in Hebron has family members that live there, it exists. If everybody, we know that.
So they think that was right near the Dead Sea. Wow.
Well, they didn't think it any differently than they thought. Tal al Hammam, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Like, these were places, like,
Yeah.
people throughout history, if you show any body of water, those are always hot spots. Water is its own commodity and currency at all points, and that was the Dead Sea. But that's everywhere.
Was the Dead Sea always the Dead Sea? Because, goddamn, there's so much interesting stuff that came from that part of the world. That's where they found the Dead
But
Sea
a lot of
Scrolls.
the stuff that was supposed to be unbelievable was all based on something real. Like, right, how long was it the Dead Sea? Long before they knew what high salt content was.
Right.
Or they might have called it salt content sea. But what they were trying to say is stuff's not growing here. Okay? Don't come here as a fishing spot. Right?
But it's a good spot to gather salt, which at that point in time was as valuable as anything on earth. Salt, they'd go to war for salt. Salt allowed people to preserve their food. Salt was insanely valuable.
Understand the whole portions, because at the end of the day, for all people, it comes down to quality of life. So the jump that was made between people eating food that you had to kill yourself catching just so that you could put it over something hot so that you could get it where you could eat it, and eating it like you, that experience to seasoning your food and, having it order from the best place because they
Eating too much
right,
spaghetti so you get fat.
right. That's part of the greatness of human experience and has been.
Yeah.
That the part of being a king or being royalty through all civilizations was being able to experience the best culinary things, because if you believe in God, that's one of the attributes that makes you believe in him, because every vegetable, let's say, that you would have, when it gets to the point where it would spoil and it would be useless and you'd have to throw it away, it becomes worth more money.
That's Katt Williams on Sodom and Gomorrah and a couple other topics. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe button. Appreciate you for watching. I'm gone.